we are at round 4. We are at a new track called Sawmill Hill. Trying to figure out if there's a sawmill here somewhere, or if this was the site of a grisly murder back in the 40s. One or the other. A pretty good start today. Came out of the hole second, and I think that's Tom Dotson ahead of me. And so we're going to chase him here for a while and try to run a consistent race here. This place is awesome. I really enjoyed this track. I thought it had just a little bit of everything. Had some high-speed sections for sure. Had some technical stuff that you'll see here in a little bit. And had kind of like some single track. Just had everything. I liked it really well. Thought it was a good layout. As far as cross country goes, that's definitely what it was. It wasn't too technical, but it was definitely a lot of fun. I thought the weather was absolutely beautiful. Dirt was good. I don't know who was sneaking up there right there. I think that might have been Troy Stanley, or I think it's Troy Stanley. That might have been his front wheel there. I have a little incident up here in a minute, and I'll let several guys get by me. So for now, just following here and feeling out the track a little bit. This little section here was definitely a little bit sketchy. I have a picture. If you look, you can stop the video and look down in that hole right there. You will see a bike like 25 feet down in that hole. I guess that's the guy that's stuck sitting there, because his bike was seriously down in a hole. I would not have wanted to have to try and get my bike up out of that hole. So Tom got around this guy right here, and then I'm looking for a way by here so I can kind of just keep pace up there with Tom. And just riding just a little bit tentative here on the first lap as usual. Track is going. Somebody there on the left again, kind of right on me here. Still just trying to feel out the track a little bit and figuring out where everything goes. I didn't really get well. No, actually I did get sort of lost a little bit. I'm not sure if I have video of it. It might be on the first lap, but after I go down up here, I get behind Big Dave and we kind of take a scenic tour up a spot where the track wasn't. This is kind of a pretty technical little section here. Got a little bit rough later in the race, but again, I like the technical stuff, so I thought it was good. So I'm just catching back up to Tom here, and you'll see here in just 1 second here, right there, right when I get up to the very top of this hill, Tom looks like he probably just bumps that guy ahead of him and stops both of them. And this is actually quite steep, as you can tell. I just fell down a second time trying to pick my bike up, slipped in the rocks, and so I know Troy got by me. There's a guy that's been racing a couple of races called his name was Chris Ray. I met him in the pits. He got by me after I watched the video back. I heard a 125 go by, and that was him. And right when I get moving here, I think a couple more guys get by me. There's Big Dave right there. So yeah, I had a great race going until that mess. So now it's just time to kind of catch my breath again and settle my heart rate down. And just kind of ride smooth just for a little bit, just to get my heart rate back in shape. So again, a little single track up here. really, these sections of the track reminded me of Death Valley quite a bit. The dirt was similar. There was a lot of rock mixed in with the dirt, so I thought that it just reminded me a lot of Death Valley in a lot of ways. The rock here wasn't rounded rock like Death Valley is, but it was real similar. Sorry if the narration doesn't sound all that good. My headphones that I normally wear to narrate, I don't have them with me. So we'll just see how it turns out. But here we're just kind of now just sneaking up behind Dave and just going to follow him for a little bit and see if we can find a way by. As you can tell, the dirt, especially in the woods, the dirt was just great. The dirt was super nice back in the woods. Out in the sun, there was a few places it got a little dusty, but really not too bad. It's a little, you almost had to do a pivot turn to get up out of this hole right here. Later on, well, I think I got some video of it. I cut a new line to sneak by Dave here on the second lap, and I think a lot of people ended up taking that line once I cut it in. Yeah, that was my arm on that tree. Off camber here. A little hard to tell that you had to go straight through there. I know a couple of people took a right back there and went kind of up the hill and came back down up here a little bit further. There were actually arrows in the woods up there, so they actually thought they were on the course, but they actually weren't. I don't know exactly how long the course was, but for the amount of bikes that we had, the course was about the right length. I thought it wasn't too short. A lot of it flowed really well. It was pretty flowy course. We'll get to some sections here in a minute where there's kind of ditches dug across the course, like the water bars, and they're seemed like about every 100 feet for a while. But again, this stuff here is just a lot of fun, real fast and flowy. It's a little dusty section there, and then this right here was a spot where it was kind of came around a corner. There was a really hard left turn there, and kind of hard to catch. And then we get into these water bars coming down this hill here. There again, just gave it really just another kind of technical aspect to the course that I liked. I thought the layout of the course was great. I thought the course was great. I didn't have a problem with any of it. About the only thing really to complain about is that one hole right there where that guy was down inside probably could have been marked a little bit better. But I think that there was tape across that hole, and I think somebody probably went through that tape. I think I did see some tape laying there on the ground. That was a pretty gnarly hole that guy was down in. This was an absolutely beautiful piece of property. Still a lot of clay in the dirt here, but again, you can tell the dirt was awesome. So I got 21st overall today, and I got third in Masters. I got talking to a couple of the guys that got first and second, and they're both A riders, so couldn't quite keep their pace. They had some pretty good lap times going. But a good race for me. 21st overall is good, considering that I'm old. So here's all the ditches or water bars, whatever you want to call them, coming down this trail right here. And again, they're about every 100 feet. You had one to deal with. So by the time you got to the bottom of this hill right here, your quads were feeling it just a little bit. of zigzagging along this hill, and we come up into this section right here and take a hard right and go up on top of the hill, then run back down it again. I'll tell you what, the woods here, this stuff is just, it must have been clear cut at some point, because it's just crazy thick how thick the woods is here. It's not really woods, it's just really brushy. So took a couple of quick passes there on this uphill, break out into this field here and run across it, and we'll dive back down in the woods here at the end of this. Sorry about the dogs barking there, but it's about 9:45 and they're inside. It's a pretty fun little section coming down through here. Again, kind of a fast section. It got faster each lap. I think each lap that I did, I got about 10 or 15 seconds faster on each lap, which I guess really that's what you should be doing. You should be getting faster every lap until the track starts maybe breaking down, and then maybe it might slow down a little bit. But track really never broke down too bad here. Okay, so here's our excursion here. I came around the corner and Dave was right there, and he was headed up this trail. And at this point, I'm like, there ain't no way anybody's been up this trail. So it's pretty hard to get turned around because you're literally on a ledge. I get turned around, and apparently a couple people had followed Dave and I, so getting all turned around and coming back out onto the course and figuring out where we went wrong here. I'm not feeling real great about my first lap at this point after the fall over there, and then after the little excursion here, and we're kind of mixed up with some other riders and can't really run my full pace. So just hoping things open up here a little bit. Looking for a way by here. Definitely a pretty high speed section here. You could run this just about as fast as you wanted. The grass was just a little bit slick. This was kind of a fun uphill, and there again you could just hold this wide open if you wanted to. Tell this was, if you didn't race this was just a really fun track. I liked this section right here. Later in the race, you were just kind of sliding your back end all the way down here and kind of flat tracking around those turns in this 90 degree at the bottom of this hill, right straight back up the hill. Like I said, track was really flowed in a lot of areas, and it's quite a bit of fun. Some really tight downhill turns right here we come down to. You can really hit these at speed because you can't really tell on the GoPro, it flattens it out, but it's fairly steep dropping down onto these ledges. So we run across a couple of ledges, and then this is almost a lap at this point. So by this point in the lap, I've got my breath back, and I've got my heart rate settled back down, and kind of going to start start pushing here to make some passes. Looking for a way by Big Dave here at this point, because I don't really know at this point what position I'm in. Quite a few bikes that went by me when I fell over, so time to start trying to cruise here just a little bit. So this video will probably be fairly long compared to some of them. I keep this lap, or this second lap, going until I get by Dave, and then I have quite a few different just random clips of the rest of the day. We didn't have I didn't have my camera crew with me, so I didn't get any starts videos this race. So this onboard video will be a little bit longer than normal. And again, there will be a bunch of clips at the end here of just random passes for the rest of the race, both passing people and getting passed too. So if you feel like watching the whole video, you might see yourself if you raced. It's a really high-speed section here. So we dive back down in the woods here at the end of this section, and then it gets kind of tight again. This uphill right here was quite a bit of fun. There again, you can just kind of pin it up through here later in the race once you kind of knew where the track was going. Making our way back up to towards the top of the hill here again. Weather today was just, it was just perfect. I don't know what the temp was, like 77 or something, but it was great. So it looks like maybe that's right. Yeah, Dave stopped and asked that guy if he was okay, and then I started to stop, and then that guy behind me looked like he stopped completely. So, not sure what happened there, but that guy was checking on him, so we kept rolling through here. No, he wasn't there the second lap around, which was good. I think he probably was able to get up and keep riding maybe, but so Dave says he thought he seen that guy raise his hand when he asked him if he was okay, so that's what Dave was saying there. Again, tight kind of single track in here. Not necessarily tight, but a little challenging. You can tell some people here are having a hard time getting up through this section. A lot of this track was right on the edge of pretty steep embankments on both sides, so you definitely wanted to stay on the course here and not get too far off the course, that's for sure. There wasn't much room anywhere to sneak by people. Here again, got some more people struggling in these technical sections. A little uphill there, and then working back across this hillside here. got a pretty long break in the OXCR schedule, so I wanted to try and do a crossroads race that's coming up, but I think we're going to have a ride at the house, but try to keep on the bike for the next couple of weeks. I think KXCR does some Saturday races, doing some kind of sprints or something on Saturdays, so we might try one of those. So getting to this section of the track here, I'm really wanting to find a way by Dave here at this point. Try to start pushing again. And so I'm just trying to find a way to sneak by here in this tight stuff. And up here I kind of carve a little line up here to sneak by. Got a little bit of a traffic jam here. There's a guy I think in that ditch, and this guy gets a little stuck, and I'm like, see me a little line right here, and I'm like, I'm gonna go around here. So I sneak by and make a couple of passes there, and now at this point I just really start pushing. So from here on, I've just have a bunch of random clips of just all different people that I ran into on the track. Some passes, some of the guys, Levi and some of the other guys passing me. So just a bunch of random bonus footage at this point. So we'll just be running through a bunch of clips. There again, a little bit of a traffic jam here. Find me a spot to sneak by a little bit. I think that's Tori, I think is her name. Looked like somebody was helping her. Not sure if she had laid her bike down there or something. It looked like there was a couple people helping her. So sneak by here and keep on rolling. A lot of off camber on this track for sure. There's a lot of areas where you kind of had to watch how hard you were on the gas, because just a lot of off camber stuff. So here again, that's one area that just about every lap you came up through there was somebody stuck on that hill. I think during the race I put 2 clicks of rebound on my. I can reach my left fork fairly easily, and I just gave it a couple of clicks of rebound. I generally do the same thing at Death Valley. I like just a tiny bit more rebound dampening, and this was one of those tracks where I did the same thing. And once I kind of made that little adjustment, bike handled really good. I think here in a minute, I think Levi passes me, and then yeah, right there. So then I get an opportunity to ride behind Levi here just for a little bit, because he's being held up a little bit. So I pick up the pace here just for a minute, try to run that pace there so that I can kind of get some video of Levi, but that's about it. Kind of pulls away right there. He had a fairly good lead because nobody else passed me for a while. I think I've got some clips of getting past, but it's quite a bit. He had several minutes at that point, if I had to guess. Zach was out of town this weekend, so Zach didn't ride this race, and I keep telling him he should have rode this race because it was just, like I said, I liked this track, and I think Zach would have done really well on it. This is probably about the 4th lap, if I had to guess, something like that. I ran 8 laps, and Levi and those other guys, they did 9, so I feel like I had a pretty good pace because a lot of times Levi and a couple of those other guys would run 2 more laps than me, but actually only ran 1 more lap than me. So my guess is some of them were probably fairly close to lapping me a second time by the end of the race. So hopefully by the next race we'll get some starts footage and get a starts video for the next race. But you missed this one, man. You missed a good one. That's all I can say. The weather was perfect. The track was really good. Definitely a good time. Great dirt. This is probably about lap number 7. Yeah, right at the end of the race here. This is probably the last lap here. I think my battery ran out before the last lap was over. So this has got to be right at the end, probably lap 7. Or early in lap 8, one or the other.
See y'all later.